welcome. Hi, Barbara. It's really fun to do this again. It's been a little while. I think I have, this is Price, by the way. Hey, Hugo. This is Price Bell, and there's my dad, Headley Bell, with one of the many stars of our show, Oscar Performance. All right. Hey, Denise. Great to see you. Hey, Penelope. Good to see you in this context. Hey, Lisa. It's great to see you. Chris, good to see everybody. We got Alabama, I know upstate New York. Hey, Becky from Texas. Please chime in with where you're from and what's happening. So I know, Lisa, we were sad not to make it to Mississippi this year. Hey, Martha, but we're actually heading down to Atlanta this afternoon after this tour. So happy New Year to everybody. Hey, Darlene. So good to see you. So Dad is here with Oscar. So we're going back our rig. Hey, Linda. Good to see you from Mass. Now, hey, Melissa. So if I'm not mistaken, I know a friend was driving to Chicago today. So is it how's y'all's weather up there and up north? Is there a bunch of oh, don't rub it in, Nancy. Is there a bunch of snow moving in to the north and northeast? Oh, great to see you, Eileen. Yeah, down here we kind of it's been weird. Yesterday it was like 70 degrees here. In fact, some of our trees are like wanting to bud. It doesn't make any sense. I'm sure that in Alberta it's a little different in Paris, but it's great to see you. So we are want to start out here with Oscar, and so and then join from North Carolina. Nice. New Jersey. I want to start out with Oscar because, I guess on Saturday, it's a fairly big day on Saturday because all of horses, all thoroughbreds, are turning a year older. And so while Oscar turns a year older and becomes, let's see, he is currently 7. He may be, yeah. He was full of, yeah, he's going to be 8. He could be 9. What's it? Yeah. Same age as George? I don't know. Maybe. That could be right. He could be a 12. So anyway, he's a 12. He's going to turn, he might be turning, he's 9, maybe turning 10. Hey, Sandy. It's great to see you. I know. Dad's filled his pockets and he's just having fun. But he is just such a specimen. So most importantly, well, Oscar, yes, he has his birthday, and yes, we're going to celebrate it, and yes, we're excited for him. But most importantly, yes, Lisa, he is getting spoiled with carrots. Are you all done now? Yeah, he's all done. His oldest babies are turning 2. And so in, I don't know, January, February, I'd say we'll go down to Ocala, where a lot of them are, and look forward to seeing how they're doing in training. You know, that's what we all are desperate to want to know is how they're doing. And so we look forward to hitting the road and seeing them in action. But right now, let's see, don't screw my rig up. Come on, up. Whoop, sorry. Right now, we are just, thank you, Linda. He was born in 14. See, I thought so. So, yeah. He's 7, rising 8. I love it in Dorset. Thank you. Rising 8. We always need an assist from our fans. We're all in this together, right? So anyway, we're going to stop back by and see him. We're going to walk down here. So where we are right now, for those who visited or those who have tuned in before, we're kind of in between our stallion paddocks. Hey, Austin. Everybody had a great holiday. We were very lucky. Whoop, sorry. Keep this going. So this is kind of what we call our 2-star stallion barn. If I can get my right there. There we go. Oh, there we go. And now we're going to walk down. There's our teaser option. But we're kind of walking down the hill here, and we're going to walk down to our expansion property, and we're going to walk and see our weanling fillies about to become yearling fillies. And then, and I know, well, I think at this stage of the game, So Deborah, oh, that's great. So a lot of his babies, I think the Ammermans have put, I think, 9 Oscar foals into training, thereabouts. And so I believe that they have 9 of them. The Ammermans break their horses, teach them how to be ridden, pre-train them with Barry Berkelhammer at Abracadabra Farms, which is also where Oscar Performance got his early training. And so many of them are at Abracadabra. There are those 9 at Abracadabra. I know Brian Lynch has 2 or 3 there as well. I'd say Barry might have 12. I know the Mayberries have quite a few. I know Niall Brennan has quite a few. So, at this stage, we're very lucky because they are all very talented horsemen and women. And that's all we can frankly hope for, is that they, we've all done our part at this stage and gotten them through kind of with the breaking up a bit. Oh, am I? I'm breaking up here. Let me see if this is breaking up a bit here and there. Let's see. Am I any better? I shouldn't be. Let's see. Am I getting any better? Not for me. Okay. Sorry, Sandy. I'm going to go this. We're going to go this way. No problem here. Okay. All right. That's good. Sandy, it might be the Wi-Fi or the cell. So Martha, we won't have any foals until kind of towards the end of January as the plan is now. None of the mares currently on the farm are due to foal until end of January, 1st of February. We have, for the past number of years, tried to, I'd say, and everyone has their own opinions, but we've enjoyed having foals in February and then really ramping up into March because by that stage, the hope of spring grass is more forthcoming. Sometimes if we have foals in the first week of January, it's just really cold and miserable and you really can't get them turned out. And so we've enjoyed trying to just push it back a little bit into January or into February and March. So, happy birthday, Denise. So what things we're looking forward to in 2022, certainly Oscar Performance's first. I'm sorry, Sandy. Certainly consider Oscar Performance's first horses hitting the track is a big favorite. So Lisa, on Foal Patrol, we're going to do something a little different for Rhoda and our friends at the and Kate and everybody at the museum. We're going to do a couple of special kind of virtual tours with them. Instead of having a mare with the camera on all the time and choosing a mare, etc., we're just going to do some special virtual tours for them and with them this year. And we really look forward to it. I would too, Penelope. We'd like my racehorse to purchase lots of our Oscars, right? So this is the entrance to the new farm. I think Dad might have showed you all this before. We're actually going to get rid of this fence and ultimately kind of reopen this back up let me see if this, sorry, I'm fighting my thingy. Open this back up so it's kind of more more together. Sorry, I wanted to just kind of show you all. So once we open this up, and now this is where horses come in and planted trees. So in the stallion area, so I've learned, whether this is true, I don't know if I'm going to use this term right. So if there's some landscapers in the mix, then let me know. But this same sequence or pattern of tree running down along the road is called an allée, and this allée here is all sycamore trees. And so and then right at that big tree in front of us is a maple tree, and then on the other side of that maple is going to be is an alley of sugar maples. And so these are all sycamores, and I think Dad mentioned last time we've got 70 trees coming, and these are, some of the dozen of them. So so Martha, we're gonna do full patrol, but we're gonna do it in kind of a special way this year. We're gonna do some special tours just for, not just for, but in conjunction, some virtual tours in conjunction with the museum. So then they will be broadcast on both the Millridge and the museum pages, and really trying to, help answer questions, because I've loved Full Patrol and we loved participating last year, but just felt like this year maybe there's an opportunity, instead of having it 24/7, to do it to where it's more interactive. So that's what we're going to work on this year with Full Patrol, because certainly are very supportive of the initiative and really everything that Kate and the museum is doing. So this is our second oldest batch of fillies. So actually, I don't know if y'all recognize, I bet you can guess the sister of the one on the left, which I guess is, I think that'd be stage left, maybe stage right, coming towards us. But that is Zia, or that's Fancy Face's sister. And she is by Catholic Boy this year. In fact, we have two Catholic boys. And look at that, they're both right here. These are both by Catholic Boy. One was purchased by White Horse Stable with Phil Hager helping them, and that's this one here. And then this is one that they bred, Zia. So Catholic Boy does not have the same marking that Into Mischief had, which is where Fancy Face got some of that. Oh, you guys.
Easy, everybody.
They are feeling good this afternoon, sorry. So we've changed up a little bit, not really changed up their routine, but we are, last year we would keep them out until we'd only bring them in really every other day. And this year we're bringing them in every day and making sure we get their feet picked out and, in the stall. So now they've just been turned out, so they're feeling excited. So anyway, you see all the action. That is Making Sense, and that's a Bernardini filly. Making Sense is a street sense mare owned by the Taffel family. Hey, sweet girl. And Making Sense, I guess it was the yearling last year that was the biggest yearling that we had ever had. Yes, if that's the half moon that you're speaking of, that's a Catholic Boy out of Gray Stark. Fancy Face, I believe, is doing very well. She's down in Florida. The people who bought her, we saw them in November, and they looked at another horse that we were offering, another foal. I can't remember which one. We had a nice long conversation, and they said that she was doing really well. They were pleased and excited, and so far so good. So at this stage, if they're in pre-training, aren't you sweet? I know. You guys are just getting used to the camera. I know, it's our fault. This wasn't part of your schooling last year. I know they haven't been spoiled yet, Blair. They get hay, and then they also get just a little bit of grain. We are, our friends at Hallway Feeds we've just started working on, I don't know, so Penelope, sorry to jump around, on Fancy Face, they haven't named her. They're planning on re-offering her next year as a 2-year-old, and at which stage, to my knowledge. That wasn't very nice. Look, I was just scratching my ear. Here you go. You just scratch an ear and then you get, jumped on. I mean, golly. But it's, so that's fancy. I think I'm current on questions, but if I have not, just chime back in if I've forgotten. That gray Stark is funny, and she's messing around. She wants to get in the action. So and here's making sense to settle back down. But I love, I know, doesn't it, Pam? They are. That's part of, they're in their woolly coats, and they've just kind of been. They're still. It was, yes, Austin. This was part of Calumet, but not the historic part of Calumet. Historically, this was my grandmother's sister's farm, and then in the mid 90s, and it was run by our cousins, the Greens, and they named the farm Mint Lane Farm, and then we took over leasing it from them, and then Mr. Kelly bought it. And he ran his weanlings to yearlings here. So Terry, the one with the big blaze is the Catholic boy Zia. Agreed. The pistol I think is also doing very well. I believe he's in Utah, because that's where Mr. Redicap does his pre-training, which is really fun. I think he does it at an altitude, or his team does it at an altitude, and they have great luck. Austin, I don't know. That's a good question. I don't remember their tractor program. At this stage, you hardly see any tractors that aren't John Deere's, to be honest with you. So, but a loaded pistol, I like that. This land, we bought it in August, I guess is when we closed. I know she has a lot of class, and again, the Duke is doing good. We will catch him on the next tour, because he's on the very far. Can't wait to see him, Bonnie. He's on the very far side. So I thought this time we'd kind of play with the fillies, and the next time we do the colts, and we'll just kind of, mess around. But so Catholic boy, as a sire, is at the same stage as Oscar was last year, with his first crop being weanlings, rising yearlings. So that's Hot Summer, who I can't remember who she is by. This is Proximity Bias. That's a Practical Joke filly that we own. We had offered her in November, and just really, oh, hey, Susan. Roll Tide. Sorry, y'all are on quarantine. It's not right. We were doing this like, when we were all first quarantining. It's not right to be back in it, but love to you guys. David said, roll Tide, Pop. But with the filly there, we'll go under and go see Effective. And then this is an upstart filly. Yes, Debbie, we're going to go see some. Hey, Olivia. How are you? Hey, Anita. Good to see you. We're going to we'll wander down and go see Effective. Let these girls go. Then think that we're going to go see, and we're going to wander and see those fillies there. There are 2 air gates in that batch, or 1 air gate. Yeah, Intensify. So the pistols, the half sister is in there. And then we'll go and see those are the second batch of foaling mares on the hill, and then I thought we'd walk over and see the rest of the fillies. So, also Red Sea, we are planning to breed. It depends. We've got some seasonal mares coming, and I'm not sure how many we will end up having. We're kind of at this moment we have about 120 mares on the farm to be bred, and then but we'll probably end up breeding somewhere around there. Divine Actress is doing great. She is she's with the other Baron mares, so she is up and under lights, or she will be being brought up here directly. So now we've transitioned over to our Sugar Maple LA, which I am pumped about, because I think that, like, on this little hilltop here, they will look awesome in the fall. So I mean, they will be something really, I think, really spectacular from a color standpoint. Hey girls, they got so sad that we left them. They're like, wait. Yes, Sandy, we are going to go and see the Scarlet Love Airgate baby. That's actually where we are going to go right now. She's down here.
You can go see Effective.
Yeah, we're going to walk down here. So let me see. We're going to foal, we'll probably end up foaling close to 80, again, depending. You know, we have the January sale and the February sale, and it's all still a little bit fluid as far as like how we'll finally kind of land. But that's kind of our hope, is anticipating foaling about 80 or so. You know, we bought this land so that we could expand our operation, and so hopefully we keep, ratcheting that up. Oh, that's great to hear, Pam. That is great to hear. We have just one from barn 2 to barn 1 is a row or an alley of sugar maples, and that's really the only place that we really have them on the farm per se. But they are just so fiery. That's the truth, Austin. So Calumet used this land really just for their weanlings, and so they had, when they bought it, they had about 450 mares. I mean, some like kind of, unfathomable number. Hey, Linda. And they used this land just to wean, and they weaned all their colts here. So, so Eddie Kane, who does a phenomenal job managing Calumet, shared that like all of their stakes horses and all their grade 1 winners came off of this farm. There's Effective. Hey, what you doing, girl? So this is an Oscar Performance filly out of the mare Effective, and who we own with some very close friends, family members, and she tried to become a show horse, and she tried to jump a fence, and she kind of, I don't know if you'd say degloved her knee, and so so she's on more limited turnout with her friend Blue Heart. Hey, cutie, how are you? She's like, I'm good. How you? She is beautiful. So you can kind of see her knee there. That right knee is a little bit more swollen. So she's got some healing to do still, which is why she's on kind of limited turnout. But she really is a lovely filly. She's got a lot of balance, and she's really got has a really nice, strong hindquarter. She's interesting for the pedigree people and friends in the mix. So Effective, the mare, is by the horse Blame. Effective is by Blame. And then her mother, Effective's mother, is by Delamy, but she's out of a mare named Antics, who is also the mother of Covfefe. So Effective is a niece of Covfefe, but Antics is from the same family as Althea and ultimately Blame, because Blame is by Arch, who is, I think, out of Aurora, who's a daughter of Althea. So the fun of her breeding, or one of the funs of her breeding, was that we wanted to kind of, inbreed to this very, arguably one of the best American mares and families in North America, and that's the family of Althea. So Effective is inbred to Althea, and she showed ability for Jimmy Toner, trained her. He liked her, and then she had a knee. Unfortunately, she also had a knee, and then different situation. She had a chip or a structural challenge in her knee, whereas this filly just had hopefully a superficial challenge in her knee. That's right. And if I'm not mistaken, Althea was also one of the first champions that Dwayne Lucas trained. I mean, not the first one of the first champions, but she was a filly that I heard him speak about the fastest horses that he ever trained was Althea. Hey, Penny. What's that?
For Helen Alexander.
Yeah, for Helen Alexander and her mother, Helen Groves. I was going to maybe go up on the high side. Anyway, I'm going to go this way. And so Helen Groves and Helen Alexander and Helen Groves have raised some of the best horses. They're just phenomenal breeders. And so Fancy Face did sell. She sold to some folks in Florida whose name, I'm sorry, is escaping me. Some folks in Florida who are going to offer her again as a 2-year-old. And so Dad and I and many kind of the energy of the bloodstock market moves down to Ocala starting in the next several months. I guess the first 2-year-old sale is early March, mid-March, down at Phasic Gulfstream, I think is the first one, and then OBS March, and then OBS April. And so Jonathan and Randy are doing great. They both, at the moment, they have been, I know, Pam, we have been doing a lot of fence repair. And that's what Jonathan and Randy have been doing a lot of at the moment, is fence repair. And then hopefully we'll get these fences painted in the springtime. In fact, so when we bought this land, yeah, come on down, Penny. It'll be a good painting party. Actually, it's pretty messy because sorry, I've got to tie my shoe. But we've got just one more field to really do on this new property, which is quite remarkable. But when we bought it, what we were really missing or needing was big open space grazing land. So this paddock field here is about 40 acres, and just big. Oh, that's great, Terry. He was born at Millridge, Point Given was. So you must be going out to the horse park. He's such a cool horse. He was born here for Ahmed bin Salman and Thoroughbred Corp, and he was just fascinating because he was so lazy. Darlene, we will be at the January sale. We started with 15 and now we're at about 10 to sell. You're okay, girls. Sorry, Sandy. The one on the left is the Scarlet Love Airgate, and I don't know if she's kind of the funny Buxian color, but we'll see. Again, we got it. Shame on us. We're still getting them used to being on camera. That sounds great, Robin. It takes a lot. Exactly, Britt. It's pretty amazing. So when they paint nowadays, we use the sprayer, or the painting company uses a sprayer, and you kind of walk behind and they paint the fences. And actually we were just right before Christmas we went to, thank you, Blair, right before Christmas. So I think Dad talked about some of our older trees that we've planted. So there's a gentleman named Robert Picorni who is a local guy here in Lexington. He loves old trees, and so he has been cultivating the acorns of some of the community's oldest trees for a number of years. And we planted, last year we planted 3. And this year we planted 9, or actually we ended up planting 14 of his trees. And so anyway, before Christmas, we went out and saw the parents of the trees. And I'll get some help from Sarah or Hannah or Alice to put some of the pictures of those trees on Facebook so you all can see how glorious they are. And some of them are 500-year-old trees. And actually this big tree right here that we're kind of walking up towards is an old blue ash. And it's probably a 300 or 400 year old tree. So the parent, so he goes and he gets the acorns or the seeds and he puts them in the refrigerator under peat moss for a year, and then they will germinate that way. And then he plants them, and he planted them, then he plants them in like, the gallon pots, I guess. And then, root prunes them and raises them to like 2 to 5 growing seasons, at which point he looks for places to plant them. And so he has planted a handful. I know he's planted, now 15 here at the farm, and it is so cool. Well, thanks so much, Tina. And it's so fun to watch them grow. I know they are, Blair. They're curious because they're showing them off and they're kind of turning and coming back to us. So we'll see. Dad is down yonder, if you can see him down there. So it's a good question. So what I know on bur oaks or on oak trees, so the acorns, they go in the ground and then they use their friends, the squirrels, to kind of move them around. I think someone said that of all the squirrels or all the acorns a squirrel plants, they end up only eating like 15% of them, which is, awesome to think about. And awesome to think about like the relationship between tree and squirrel, that they rely on the squirrel to go and kind of spread their seeds around, which is just really clever. To that same point, there are stories about, I guess, oak trees will have these like bumper crops where, oh, that's awesome. Austin. So oak trees will have these bumper crops where supposedly they will have like acorns up to your knees, and then they will have them only every so often because they are trying to contain the squirrel population, right? If they had those kinds of crops every year, then the squirrels would eat all of their acorns. So I guess that like they'll have these bumper crops, and then they'll keep not putting out so many acorns the next year or the following years, and then they'll put out a ton of acorns again. And it's amazing. Like there's a really cool book called The Secret Life of Trees, which, just how trees now communicate with each other. Like I think we are still learning so much about how they communicate, and just really the sophistication of them as an organism. I think is something that is still, there's a lot of studies being done today, which I find just amazing, right? Like trees have been around longer than humans, and yet we're still learning about them. Like these are walnut trees, and they do very well here. And this is a fun view. Oh, it's called a mast here. That's cool. Yeah, I don't know how to Zoom on Facebook Live. I would like to. What I'm trying to do is patiently approach them until they get curious and come to us, is what I'm hoping to do. Yeah, Kathy, The Secret Life of Trees, it's a very fun read. It's almost like a coffee table read. I think the whole thing might be 80 pages. You can kind of pick it up and put it down. So I wouldn't hesitate. It's a cool book. So now we're getting closer. Hey guys. But this is we're back to this is the shop. Here we're the hay barn. So that's our hay barn. You can kind of see that he's not quite buckskin, but he's kind of roan. But the one right there is the Arrogate Scarlet Love. And when Sandy and her friends, or Sandy and the team were here, we got to see see her rather, and she was really changing her color dramatically. So, so sometimes if you get lower than them, they get more curious because they're like, whoa. Hey, so here's the Arrogate Scarlet Love. Hey, cutie. So Scarlet Love is from the family of Scarlet Tango. Let's see who else we have. Oh, this is actually another Arrogate. This is Lemon Splendor. So there are 2 Arrogates. I think this is an Oscar performance. It is out of Wild Silk. Hey. Ah. Don't do that. Don't pin your ears. I know. I don't want you to come and run over top of me. I know. Hey, who are you? Oh, this is the Pistol's sister. And she is by Cantheros. So, sorry. Hey. Stop. Who are you? Beer Baroness. So that's, Beer Baroness is also an Arrogate? Yeah, there's 3 Arrogates right in a row. Beer Baroness, Scarlet Love, Lemon Splendor. We have quite a few Arrogates here on the farm. We were big believers in him. Hey, stop. And still are big believers in him. It's just feeling like they will take some time to mature. There we go. Easy. There you go. No, I'm not part of it. Right. Who is this? This is Emma Lazarus. That's an Oscar performance. Sorry, guys. They are very sweet. They're also very curious. And so this is the Pistol's sister. They are so pretty. Exactly. What a prowess. Hi. Who are you? Are you Wild Silk? Nope, you're no nombre. That's hey, guys. No, don't do that. Don't do that. See, isn't that nice? I know. I don't want you guys to get jealous. That's what I don't want. Jealousy. And you're funny, aren't you? Hey. Scarlet Love is very funny. She comes with her ears pinned back. Don't you? Ah. Yes. You know what? It is still. So Martha, on their tags is their mother's name. So that said Wild Silk, if you caught that. So her full sister was the Oscar performance that we sold in Saratoga. I know, and she is. She wants to be boss. I like it. But she is lovely, and she's kind of different than some of the other Arrogates because, Arrogate himself kind of had his hips were his hocks were kind of tucked underneath him a little bit, and so and he has thrown that to where he wouldn't say weaken his hocks, but like they're just kind of under him, almost more like a turf horse. It's a trait you kind of associate with turf horses, and so hey, who are you? And just need some time. So this is just around midnight. This is an Oscar performance, and that is a half to duopoly, grade 1 winner, bred by our friends the Otto family. So that is she there. And let's see, this is Lemon Splendor, Arrogate. Yeah, she's tough. And Beer Baroness, and that looks like Dabinette. Or Wild Silk. Maybe you're Dabinette. Because I think that you're an Oscar performance based on your blaze. With another. Stop it. So Dabinette is Papa John's or my grandfather's mare, and she is also by Blame, who we believe will be hopefully a significant broodmare sire. But Dabinette is a type of apple, and Dabinette's mother is named Sharp Apple, and so Dabinette is named after a sharp tasting apple. Stephanie, we're we're hopeful to keep a few Arrogate babies. Like we would, if budget and time allows, we would love to keep the Scarlet Love filly. But, at the same time, if they're too valuable for us to keep, we also are want to make sure we stay in business. So that's the fine line. So, anyway, thank you. Yeah, that's awesome. So anyway, yeah, we would like to keep some. I know, or at least at the moment, the Lemon Splendor filly is likely to be kept by her breeder. This is Intensify, because the mare has been a dear mare to him, and he would like to keep a daughter of hers. And Arrogate, believe that they will need time, and also believe that he would be a significant broodmare sire. So Arrogate's By Unbridled Song and Arrogate's broodmare sires Distorted Humor, who are two of the most prolific broodmare sires out there, Ad Bernardini, and those would be kind of the three most prolific at the moment broodmare sires. So I think that you're funny, Emma Lazarus. You're not very big, but you pack a punch, don't you? You got all the confidence, don't you? Another Sharp Apple. So Sharp Apple is the mother, and so Dabinette is a daughter of Sharp Apple, and then another daughter who was grade 1 second. She never got a grade 1. We won a group 2. Her name was Pomology, which in French, the pomme is an apple, and so pomology is a play on the study of apples. But pomology's first or second foal is by Dubawi, and he is, an early favorite for the Derby next year in England with Godolphin and Sheikh Mohammed. So it's a family that has got some. It's a family that's got some life to it. Emma Lazarus, to see you just on the shank, I was not very impressed with you because you're not very big, but you are kind of Spitfire, aren't you? You're like, yeah, you're kind of a little red-headed Spitfire. So there's Scarlet Love and Lemon Splendor. Those two Arrogates hang together. That's right. That's Intensify. So that's the Pistol's sister. She's by Cantheros. Oh, you guys. And then let's see, who's that? You guys are too funny. Gotta be kidding me. So we'll take charge. But yeah. Oh, well guys, we're gonna call this. I hate to do it because I like sitting out here and hanging out with them as well. But as they say, happy wife, happy life. And at the moment, I've just gotten I will do so, Stephanie. At the moment, I have promised my wonderful bride I would be home and we could get on the road by 3. So I think I need to wrap this up, but we are, last year was a lot of transition and change and getting everything kind of, kind of getting on top of everything. And this year we're going to start doing these more often, and because we really get so much out of it and just love sharing and just love how much all the positive feedback you all give us. It just it's helped us remind us how lucky we are and how lucky we all are to have horses in our lives. So I hope you all have we hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful New Year's, and we look forward to seeing you soon and wishing all these gals a happy birthday. And next time we will go on and we'll go see some of the colts and the fillies, and we'll just kind of keep it rolling. So thank you all again so much, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day.